Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. In this lecture of DDCDP 23 day 6 of JavaScript, we will be creating a basic model in JavaScript. CSS styling is not the aim but the functionality, so let's head over to creating a model in JavaScript. With the model, I have already created model.js, model.html and model.css and link these files to save some time. We have images folder, so normally in real world also if there are 2 or 3 versions of the same image. Firstly, we will be showing all small images on the page, and then once that image is clicked, it will show up in a model with some information, and the larger image will be shown in the model. So we have a couple of groups for all of these images, small and large. So let us create some markup. First, we'll show all the images in grid. It has some CSS work and HTML part as well. So first we will create that. Inside the images, rather we'll call it cards. In each card there will be, in each in cards div there will be card like this. So maybe some heading. And then the image itself. So initially we'll have the smaller images, and once that is clicked it will show up in the model. So the images should be, for this one should be 1_ small dot png. This is card, so let us repeat. These are 10 images, so 10 cards. So we have used all the images here, and let us change some descriptions also. That's all. So all of these images are here on the page now. The next thing is, let us give some grid styling to it, so that dot cards display grid and head dash template dash columns say 5 columns, so we can make it 1fr, 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 1fr and 1fr. Also let us make the images 100% so that so these are all the images, and these are the detail of the image. This is the description, and this is the image. We won't be spending much time on CSS, that you can do yourself now, but just to show you that we can have something like this. And even if we increase it by 1 or 2 more columns, so the image sizes will further be reduced. Okay, so the goal is, if I click on this image, for example this one, it should open a modal and show that image inside the modal. This is the smaller version of the image, but inside the modal there will be the larger image. Also this description should be copied over there as well in the inside the modal. So which one is clicked, it will show that in the respective modal. Okay, I will leave this design here like this. Next we can make at the bottom of your or after cards here, maybe, or anywhere, you can create div class is equal to modal underscore outer. This is a div with the class of modal outer, and then we can have div class is equal to modal underscore inner. So these are two divs. Actually now let us style them. So modal outer will be its width should be 100 VW, height is 100 VH, and background dash color, if you give it in RGBA, so you can have some transparency. So 0 0 0 and say for example 0.4. Let us see how it looks now. So this is that model now, and it is after the images. Why? Because it is right now in the natural flow of the document. So how can we make it above it? Position relative or position absolute, sorry. So we can make it position fixed, top 0 and left 0. Now you can see it's a bit darker because if I remove this background, this one, if I make it 0.9, so you will realize that's on the top of the page now. So 0.4 was okay. Now we can't click through this or you select it. Why?
Because we have the
Exactly, it's on the top of the page. So we won't mess up with the Z index and all, but we will actually use another property so that we can select these elements still. So that is known as pointer events. Pointer events, we will make it none. What it does is it sorts of make the div transparent, so you can then select it beneath as well. Exactly, so it makes actually elements below the div selectable, or even any events can be attached to it. Then for example, if the div is above these, we can't reach them, but if it is above, if we use this property, pointer events none, then we can select it. Okay, the next thing is let us style the inner model also, where the actual element will be there. So model underscore inner, is it inner or something else? Inner, okay. Let us give it width of say 800 pixel, height of 500 pixel, background dash color white, and I want it to be in the center of the outer div, this one. So let us make this grid, and justify center, and justify align items center. So now this div will be in the center of the model. This is, got it?
Yes.
Okay, now this is going to be the CSS we need for the models, okay? But initially it should not be so. Initially it should not be so, it should be hidden. So we can use some, that is create a class dot open, and once it is open, this should be initially opacity, because opacity is transitionable. That's why we can use display none also, but display none cannot be transitioned. So opacity 0, initially it will be 0, so it won't be visible now. But if we give the class of open to it, then opacity will become 1.
It is not there, but actually it is there. But
It is actually, exactly, it's not now visible just because of the opacity level. So
if we haven't used the pointer event,
yeah,
events none, then after opacity 0, it the behind things
won't be selectable.
won't be visible.
So if I, even in the inspect, if I gave it a class of open it to it now, so what it does is it creates this model. So now you are JavaScript, good enough in JavaScript. If you have to open this model, what we will do, we will add the class, and if we have to close it, we will remove the class. If I remove open from it now, so it will be removed. It's just the concept of adding and removing that class, and inside the class you can have some logic, some concept. Okay, the next thing is now let us come back to the normal form of it. This is the normal form. I can have some link here also, more detail, but let us do it with the image. So if I click on the image, it should open the model, right?
Yes.
So let us first target in JavaScript all the images. So image document dot query, select all, and is image. And if you have given any classes to your images, you can target those as well. Now if this any of the images is clicked, I need to do something. Let us also target the two divs also, models also. So outer model is equal to document dot query selector, and this class is dot outer underscore modal is model outer. Sorry, these are common errors we get into. Model underscore outer. So let us change this one also, model inner Okay, now once any of the images in all images is clicked, we need to do something. So for that, all images dot add event listener, sorry, dot for each, and then we will pass the function, and each element inside this function is actually an individual image, so we will call it image. So image dot add event listener, what that event listener is going to be click. Once that click happens, we will run a function, and what that function will do, it will do this. So for now, just let us check. Yes, console.log image clicked. So it is working. The next thing is because we just need to copy this detail of the image also and this text also. Okay, so if I click on this image, I can get it via, for example, if I need to just get the source of this image, so e.target.source, you can easily get it. For example, console.log, and you will have to pass e or event or whatever. So console.log e.target.src. So now it will show us whichever image is clicked. For example, if I click on this one, it shows that image is src. If I click on this one, it will show this image is src. This is fine, but we also need to have these two also copied for some reasons. Okay, so for that very purpose, we can check what's the closest. Closest means this is a method of the any element starting from itself moving upwards in the DOM. Okay, so e.target.closest. What I want to check, let us go to the markup. If I click on this image, I want to closest card. It means if I click on this and I want the closest card, so which one will be the closest? This one. It will check in its parents if there is a closest card. Okay, so this will, if this finds it, well and good, then we can target this and this. Okay, otherwise maybe we can end up somewhere else on the page, and unneeded stuff can be copied. So let us do it this way. This is one of the ways of targeting it. So what we can do is e.target.closest. So let create a variable called description is equal to e.target.closest dot card. This is HTML, sorry, CSS select actually. So e.target.closest card dot. Okay, so you might have learned that query selector can be used in context also. So we normally say document dot query selector.
Yes.
But now let us just parent card element. Okay, so e.target.closest.card, what is it going to be? The parent of each image. Okay, now we can say document.query selector, and we can pass dot description, for example, but this will search it inside the whole page because this is document.
Yes.
But if we pass it parent card element, what will it do? It will search for this only inside this element. This is, you can call it contextualizing query selectors. Okay, so if we use document dot, it will search, and this is more performant. I mean, now even if there is a huge document, JavaScript will not search for all of the elements. It will only search it inside this one. Okay, so now it will search for dot description, and we will it means this div class is equal to description. Okay, and we will also search for h2. So dot inner HTML. And we will assign it a variable. Let description is equal to this. Okay, so if I now console.log the description, if I click on any of the images, close this one, but only target close. Okay,
some descriptions will
the
last line in the console.
okay, so whichever image now I am clicking, it is showing its description, right? The next thing is, so we have successfully created a variable for description. Similarly, we will do it for heading. Heading is equal to, so parent dot this, what can be the and we can use inner text here. And the target should be h2. Fine.
Yes.
And we also need to grab the image source. So let image src is equal to, this is easy, e.target.src, because image is being clicked. So all of these three we need it. Also we need to do something which is open the modal once image is clicked. Let us give some CSS also to the image cursor pointer, so that we know we are going to click this. Okay, we also need to open modal. So we already have targeted modal outer. So modal outer dot class list dot add, what's that class? Open. So if an image is clicked, it now opens the model. Let us refresh it. It now opens the model. This is not very let us increase the opacity a bit. So it's working fine. Okay, the next step is, this is the model. Here we need to add image and the title and description, right? So how can we do that? We already have targeted the modal inner. Here we will add it. That's modal inner. So, and we already have grabbed the description, heading and source. So now we need to just create some markup from it. Let HTML is equal to, and we will use backticks. So let's have the image first. So image src is equal to this. So image source is this. Okay, so what we can do, $, this and image src. We'll do something with it, but for now let this be the one we have used. Okay, then we need to have some title also for the image. So h2 and $. This is the heading we have grabbed already. So heading and then description. So description is going to be just a div or maybe yes, ref class is equal to description model description. And here we will use $sign description. Okay, this is now the HTML markup. Next we need to add it to this inner model inner. Okay, so what we can do is, and we already have targeted model inner, so model inner, let us make it simple. Inner HTML is equal to HTML, and we can use insert adjacent HTML also. That is faster. This one is a bit slower on the documentation page but let us use this for now. Okay. So let us try if things are working fine. It's now the model, and it has this cursor. Let us give some CSS. Dot model underscore inner ing
underscore model inner underscore.
Okay, so the image is smaller now. We are not able to scroll down because of the size of the image. So let us remove this from it for now. Okay, so this is detail of the image, and we have heading also, but that's not visible. Let us debug it. Detail of the image, description is not visible. Def class is equal to description, and in JS description is it being output in the yes. Okay, this is just CSS issue. So you need to now style the images inside the model, but it is actually showing the smaller image still, because we have copied exactly the image source like this. We have two sets of images. One is underscore small and then large. Okay, so once it is clicked, the large one should be there. So we can replace small and large with this replace method. Dot replace JavaScript so for example, visit Microsoft, so text dot replace Microsoft with W3 schools. So this will be replaced by this. So here in the code we need to replace small with large, so that the large image is shown in the model. So what we can do is, in the modal.js here we can use dot replace what with what, small with large. Is the order okay? This one is to be replaced with this, so the small is being replaced with large. Now if we check it, if we go to the source, inspect, so the all the sources are small, but if we hopefully if we click on it and inspect the source, inside the model, so it's the large one. Okay, you can see there is one problem still. I can select elements beneath it because we had given it a CSS of pointer events none. So even if there is image, it lets you click elements behind it. Okay, so what we can, how to fix it, we can use it inside here, and this is going to be and probably that was the reason we were not able to scroll properly. So cursor point sorry, where it is, pointer events all. Now it will make it a normal pop-up. This is now not selecting elements behind it, but before it was selecting it. Okay, let us make it 50% here and height 50%. So we can see both. You need to style these yourself, okay, so that they are well styled. Now what is next? We need to close outside the model. If you click on it, it should get closed. Do you agree? Normally you might have seen like this. For example, right now it is showing the model, but it is not closing it. We don't have either some button here, or normally outside the model, if you click, it closes it. So what we can do, we can target, let us close outside the model first. So we already have targeted the outer model. So model.add event listener, what this is going to be, click, and click is function. Okay, let us just remove the class immediately from it, so that you know what's the problem. So if I click on it, we can use this here, but for now we will use model outer dot remove, sorry, the class list dot remove, and what we want to remove, open. Okay, now the model gets opened. If I click, this is the outer model div. If I click on it, it gets removed. If I click on it again, it gets removed. But remember, even if I click on this, it gets removed. It should not be removed once we click on the main pop-up, this one, the model inner. And remember the bubbling and capture. So we are clicking on the inner one, but the model is also the outer model is also getting clicked, and that's why it gets closed. Okay, so this should not be the behavior. The behavior should be, if we just click on the area which is not the part of modal inner. So here, for example, if I click on this is modal inner, this is modal outer, so only the outer ones should close it. So here again, for example, if I click on e.target.closest modal __ inner, console.log, okay, is it modal inner or inner modal? Modal inner, okay. So e.target, so once I click on the modal outer, I am going to console.log e.target.closest.modal inner, okay. And the way closest works is it starts from itself, the target one. Okay, so if I click on this now and I go to console, if I click on the outer modal, so is not defined. So if I click on this and then here, it is null because we are clicking on the main outer div, okay. But if I click on this one, then it is getting me modal inner, because the closest is now itself the inner. So this is the difference we can make. I mean, for if condition we can do something like this: if this then do this. So for example, we can use this, okay. So if, and you remember the truthiness and falsiness values. So if this is, then do something. If e.target.closest modal inner, but we can make it not also. Once it is not the target, but meaning it's the outer div, then we should remove modal outer dot class list dot remove, and what we need to remove? Open.
Yeah, that's one like it pinned at the top of the line. So
okay, so let us try if it is working now. If I click on it, it has opened, and if I click outside, it gets closed. And if clicking on the modal itself, it doesn't close it. Is this fine?
yes.
Okay, so why is it now clicking? Because this click shows some closest element, not closest. So not closest is the outer div,
Yes.
and there the condition gets true and the modal gets closed. Okay, we normally have a close button also here,
Yes.
so that upon clicking it, this should close. That is your assignment. You'll just create a button inside it in the model, and if that gets clicked, you should hide it. It's just the matter of adding a class of open or removing it. The next thing is, we want to do it with escape key also. Once the escape button is clicked, it should close this also. So how can we do that? This is the whole window or document, you can call it.
Yes.
So we will add a window dot add event listener, and the event listener is going to be key down function. Okay, if, and whenever you are going to target the event, so you should either write event or EVT or whatever. So we will use e dot target, no, not the target, e dot key, yeah, e dot key, or let us call console.log first. Console.log e dot key. So if we come to console, if I press any button, it console.log that. E dot e dot key. Okay, escape. Okay, I'm on the window right now. For example, I clicked on escape button. So in console, then you can see, because it has output this one. For example, if I am on this and I click on T, if you go to console, so it shows T. So we can target e dot key. Okay, so if e dot key dot key is equal to escape, if escape button is clicked. Okay, so what should we do? This dot remove open, and we can write this in a function also. So just calling the function will do it, because we are rewriting this code again and again. Okay, so now if I click on this, opens the model. If I click on escape, it closes it. If I click on it, escape, it closes it. So that's all for today. What we have done is we have created a not very good in CSS, but still you can get the idea of how models work and what we can achieve with it. So this is clicking on any of the image shows the larger image, and then with escape, as well as clicking outside the model, the main inner model, we can close the model. Thank you very much.